guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're doing a story time about the time my sister dislocated my shoulder. Okay, mind you, I've already did this story time on my channel when I had first initially restarted my channel again, but for some odd reason I don't remember why I did this, but I privated the video. And I'm gonna assume because I didn't put the thumbnail on it, because whenever I look at the video it's private with no thumbnail. I don't know why I did that. I really don't know the reasoning behind me privating that video, but I was like, you know what, let me just retell this story time because maybe I didn't give it the justice it needed the first time. So let's do this story time the right way, okay? So with that being said, let's get into it. So this story happened over a year ago at this point, right? And at the time, my aunt had asked me to do my little cousin hair. So I come over to their house, I do her hair, right? So literally as I'm finishing the last bits of her hair, my sister proceeds to call me and be like, oh, hey, like my boyfriend, he told me last minute that he is going to a wedding and the wedding is at like 4 p.m. and it's 1:30. Like, can you please help me with my hair? I don't have anything to do with my hair besides just slapping on a wig real quick. I said, okay, cool, like that's no problem. So mind you, I'm thinking right after I finish my cousin's hair, I'm going straight back to our house so I could do her hair, right? Because like I said, I'm doing it at our cousin's house. So y'all, literally as I finished her hair, I'm talking about as soon as she sat up and she looked at her hair and was like, oh, it's cute, thank you, my sister came ringing at the doorbell. So we all was like, who the heck is that? Because I'm not thinking my sister was gonna pull up on me. So anyway, she pulled up on me and immediately told my aunt, hey, I'm sorry to just pop up like this. I last minute got invited to a wedding and Christina told me she was over here doing her hair. So I was just wondering if it's okay if she could do my hair real quick. My aunt was like, oh, that's no problem. Go right ahead, right? So my sister's hair was already braided up and she was just asking me, can you put this wig on my head and help me like style it a little bit? So y'all, I always have a hard time putting on wigs on other people. Like, I never can get it to look right. I always tell people, put your own wig on how you want it to look and then I'll adjust it from there and style it how you want it. But my sister was like, no, just help me, right? So I'm struggling to put it on, and because my sister's already antsy and anxious because she's running behind for this wedding, every minute she's like making a little snide comment like, ow, ow, you're hurting me. And you know, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I wasn't rough because I was really trying to take the combs and like hook it into her hair. And so I would be like, okay, like I apologize, my bad, I'm not trying to do that, I'm trying to just get it on your head so we can get your hair down real quick. But y'all, the whole time she just kept like being antsy, making little rude comments. In between the rude comments, she's telling me, you're hurting me, right? So at this point I just get fed up with her because I'm like, you're getting on my nerves, like you're irritating me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So I simply tell her, I said, since you get on my nerves, I'm not doing your hair no more. You're gonna have to figure it out yourself because you're pissing me off and I don't got time for the games. So mind you, I had let her borrow my flat iron and my hot comb. So she was using it while she was using like the wig or whatever. And so she had brought them over and I had ended up just unplugging them, but I wasn't like unplugging it to take it back with me. I just unplugged it simply because I didn't think she was going to try to finish her hair in the kitchen, seeing as there's no mirror to see her hair. So I thought, okay, like she's going to take the stuff and move it to the bathroom. So that's why I had unplugged it. Y'all, I unplug it, I walk away, that's it. Out of nowhere, my sister gonna say, don't be unplugging my shit, start popping her stuff. So I'm thinking, yo shit, like what? Girl, this is not your stuff. Like, I'm letting you borrow my stuff and you talking about something, don't unplug my shit. Y'all, I ran in that kitchen so fast and I was just like, yo shit? I said, this is my show shit. This is my stuff. I let you borrow my stuff, and since you want to talk to me crazy while using my stuff, I'm taking it back. Like, don't even worry about it. Now you gonna have to really figure it out how to do your hair because you ain't using my stuff since you want to talk to me crazy, right? So after I leave the kitchen the second time and I take my stuff with me, she just steadily like popping her stuff, talking mess in the kitchen, but she trying to over here like kind of like half-ass do it under her breath. But I'm like, I can obviously hear you talking mess because that's one thing my sister is good for. Like, that's one thing I don't like that she do is when she upset, instead of just saying directly to you, you piss me off for X, Y, and Z, she just gonna talk shit under her breath and think you just supposed to just sit there and let her talk shit under her breath. Like, girl, no. Anytime you have something to say, I'm always have something to say back. Like, I'm sorry, like that's just who I am, because yeah, I'm gonna get that last word. Like, don't think you're gonna talk shit and I'm just gonna take it. Like, never is gonna be that. So she talking shit, this, and I hear her say, this. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna beat your ass. So I'm like, who's? Who? Who? I was like, what the heck? I was so confused because first I was just like, how it escalate from me telling you I don't want to do your hair no more to now you want to beat my ass because you was yelling at me, talking to me crazy. So I go back in the kitchen and I was like, who asked you gonna beat? Who? So I'm talking my stuff, popping my stuff, and we arguing back and forth in the kitchen. Mind you, my little cousins and my aunt is in the next room over. So they hear everything. We just going back and forth, back and forth. And out of nowhere, my sister gonna like kind of like get bugged and get in my face. So I pushed her back. I'm like, get out of my face. And she gonna run up again. So I pushed her again. And y'all, we just got to fight. I'm talking about got to fighting in that kitchen. We fighting in my uncle's house. And you know, this not funny because that was very disrespectful for the both of us to be doing that in their house. Like, you don't bring raunchiness to other people's house, you keep that at your house. And so I will say we was both wrong as hell for doing that. Like, we was wrong. First we was wrong for talking crazy inappropriate in front of our little cousins, then we was wrong for talking crazy inappropriate in front of our aunt, and then also fighting in their house. Like, that is so disrespectful. Like, we was wrong as hell, y'all. But y'all, we got to fight. I'm talking about throwing it. So y'all, my sister, she got to a point where she started trying to kick me, right? So I catch her foot, right? And I was like, try to kick me again, and I'm gonna catch that other foot and have you on the ground. And so she tried to take her arm and throw a punch, y'all. And I don't know who I thought I was. I don't know who I thought I was feeling like. Maybe I thought I was Superwoman or something. But as she's like throwing her punch, I go and I do this. And I catch it because I'm like, who you about to punch? But y'all, I didn't think that fully through, because when she was punching and like I said, I caught it, she was still going in the motion. And when she did it and she was like punching, it threw my arm out of the socket, y'all. So immediately, as soon as I felt it, like, mind you, I had never dislocated a part of my body before this, but immediately in my head I just knew that it was dislocated, because although I've never broken a bone either, I was just like, you know, this does hurt in the moment, but I feel like it would be a lot worse if my arm was broken, so it must be dislocated. And I was like, oh my god, you just dislocated my arm. And I said it just like that, and she was like, and then she just hurried up, grabbed all her stuff, and ran out the house and left immediately. So I go to my aunt and I was like, okay, I'm about to leave and go drive myself to the hospital because she just dislocated my arm. And my aunt was like, well, how you know? And I'm like, look. And she seen it hanging out the socket. She's like, oh my gosh. But then after the adrenaline finally came down, y'all, that mess hurt so damn bad. Like, my arm felt so heavy. Like, when you dislocate a body part, you never realize how heavy your body is until you feel it. Like, you know how they always talk about like dead weight or whatever? You know, that is truly really a thing. Like, being alive and moving around versus being dead and that's just who you are, it's two completely different types of heavy, okay? I don't know what the science is behind it. I don't know why when your body becomes fully like relaxed and like that, you just even more heavy. I don't know what the science is, but it's true. So with that being said, when you dislocate your arm, it feel like dead weight. And so y'all, I was like, oh my god, my arm is hurting, like, ah. So I'm like crying and stuff, and I was like, okay, I need to go to the hospital. And so they called the EMT, and the EMT was like, we could reset your arm, but we don't have any medicine, and the most we could do is give you a sling, and it's gonna hurt a lot. And I was like, no, I need some type of medication. Like, just experiencing it coming out, I know it's gonna hurt going back in, and I need something to, you know, sedate me once it's back in the socket. So they was like, well, if you want some medication, the best thing to do is go to the hospital. So I was like, I don't want to pay for no, you know, emergency vehicle. I'm not paying that. I'm not footing that bill. So I asked my aunt, I said, hey, can you just drive me to Healingdale? So y'all, after my aunt dropped me off at the hospital, I'm sitting there for a few hours. They asking me all these questions, and I'm kind of trying to be vague just because I was like, okay, like, I don't want my sister to go to jail or nothing or get arrested, because it was genuinely an accident from her dislocating my arm. Like, it wasn't intentional. Like, she didn't intentionally like try to dislocate it, okay? Like, yeah, we was fighting, but like I said, I caught her punch. So it's not like she was like, oh, I'm gonna punch her and this is gonna dislocate her shoulder. So I was just trying to be like a little vague. They was like, no, you have to answer these questions. Like, you have to just be honest. Like, we are not gonna send her to prison or jail or nothing, because that's not our job. Our job is just to get the correct, valid information for our charts so we can know exactly how to properly diagnose you and exactly like give you the good, like, and to know which type of medication to give you, right? So I ended up telling them the full story or whatever, and they was like, oh, y'all be tripping. Like, you know, I know siblings get down, but y'all was really getting down. I was like, yeah, it was bad. Like, it was bad, y'all. And long story short, y'all, I had to wear this arm cast for a minute, right? Mind you, they had told me I had to wear it for a few weeks. I literally only wore it for 2 weeks, y'all. I wore it for 2 weeks, and I learned my lesson on why I should have kept that sling on all the time, even in my sleep. Because, y'all, why the freak, one night I fell asleep and I slept too good that I re-dislocated the same shoulder, and I had to go back to the hospital to get it put back into the socket and stuff like that. Because basically, long story short, your body has this like little like signaling that tells your body when you're asleep, don't get too relaxed, basically, because if you get too relaxed, you could dislocate your like bones and stuff because from being too relaxed. Like, I don't know what the correct term for it is, but with that being said, my body just, between it like not being fully healed, but also to me getting too relaxed in my sleep, that had dislocated again. And y'all, like I said, I learned my lesson. That second time I wore that sling for 6 weeks straight. Literally, I was like, I cannot experience this again. And thank the Lord I have not dislocated my arm again since then, like, you know, from fighting or even in my sleep. But yeah, that was just the craziest time. And I always think about that story time sometimes because I'm like, wow, like, me and my sister are crazy as hell. Like, we're so crazy. And I think it's just because people like to say we're the same coin, just two different sides, which, you know what, I can honestly agree with that, because even though we have a lot of tendencies that I don't feel like are similar, for the most part I feel like we also still do share a lot of the same tendencies. And then it's crazy because when I looked up her birth chart, we're both Leo risings, and yeah, when you bring your fire to the party, sometimes it can get a little crazy. And then it doesn't help that I'm a water sign and she an earth sign, so we be really battling to the T, okay? But at the end of the day, water is the strongest element on this earth, and you can't say nothing else, period. But I hope y'all like that story time. With that being said, like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I will see you guys later. Bye.